Over 90% of pet owners consider their pets a part of the family. Science has shown that cat owners enjoy many health benefits. A cat's purr resonates at a frequency that can, for example, heal muscles, bones, and tendons. Plus, they can help improve your quality of sleep. Robert A. Henlon, an American author and aeronautical engineer, once said, quote, "How we behave towards cats determines our status in heaven." If we take Robert Henlon's assumptions towards treating animals as the barrier to entry to the afterlife, then the killers on this episode deserve to be strung upside down and hung by their toes with catnip, drowning in litter box waste, scratched by the claws of Beelzebub himself, while burning in the deepest depths of hell. So, welcome, Jess.
Welcome, Jess.
Thank you.
Discount Jen.
Discount Jen, sitting in for Jen today.
So, Jen, for those of you guys who don't know, I'm sure Jen posted quite a bit about this on social media, I would imagine. She had a 30th birthday / housewarming party / all the holiday parties that were missed during COVID party yesterday, and just came from North Carolina to attend this little shindig. And we had a sneaking suspicion that Jen would be unable to crawl out of bed to make it for the episode. So while we're not here with Jen for her 30th birthday episode, we do have Jess.
I will do my best. Oh, I don't have bongos.
We do have bongos if you want to give it a shot.
I will play them badly. Yes.
So Jess is my army friend's friend. Right?
I think your army friend's friend's friend.
Your army friend's friend guy you were banging.
True.
Yeah.
Multiple times removed, and I feel like I'm the only one who's lasted this long. Yeah, I outlived all of them.
You've outlived all of the army friends themselves.
Yeah, holy shit.
In his friendships, which is pretty
that's
impressive.
Fucking crazy, yeah.
We've known one another for a long time.
Yeah.
We've been friends for almost 10 years
Yeah.
now, right?
Yeah, so
Yeah.
I don't really talk to my army friends anymore, but the friend of the friend that the girl that she was banging, yeah.
Best friends for life.
So
Brilliant.
Today we went to brunch, guys. We got a little drunk. And not our fault for once. The bartender's buying us shots.
Yeah, that was
tequila.
great.
For no reason. Like, it's tequila at 10 in the morning.
And
It's
then
like,
Jameson.
No,
and yeah, he
Oh,
did tequila
shit.
and then Jameson.
Oh, yeah,
Jesus
but the tequila
Christ.
with cinnamon oranges, right?
Yeah.
I'm like,
delicious.
dude,
Yeah.
I mean, I'm taken, bro. Like, what the fuck?
And we had Bloody Marys, and
But
now
call me. Come on.
we did exchange digits. John was like, "Yo, let me get your digits, man." And
Do you think
so,
he gave you his real digits, or did
I mean,
he like one number off?
it was the appropriate area code from where he lived.
Yeah. Remember that number that people used to give out?
Oh my God, the reject hotline
Yeah.
number. Do you remember that?
I don't know about this. No.
Yeah, you
Oh
would call
my
it.
God.
So they'd have it for like every area code. So you'd be like, 843 is our area code in Charleston, 843-330-4577 or whatever. So if they text it, the reject number, it'd be like, hey, quick, call me. So they would call it, and then, I mean, I guess there are different ones, but then they'd answer the phone and be like, hello, and it's like, you have reached the reject hotline. If you're hearing this, unfortunately, you have been rejected by
And
the
it was,
person.
but it was really fucking fun. Like the guy was
yeah.
super entertaining. You have reached the reject hotline.
Yeah.
And so if you've been given this number, you clearly are unattractive. Like it would just go on this like 5-minute rant. It was great. This was like super popular in like high school.
It was popular for a while. If you guys are ready to start.
Yeah, we're
Let's do
ready.
it.
And I guess, guys, since Jen's not here, we're probably not going to do the surprise shots or whatever. She might get upset if we
No,
did.
I feel like that's trademark.
Yeah.
Copywritten.
So
Discount Jen can't bring that to the table.
yeah, so we're not going to do that. And today is it's an episode that I don't think a lot of people have heard before. I shouldn't say that.
This is exactly what Nikki was calling you out on.
It's kind of a lighter
No one's done this
episode.
before.
It's a lighter episode since Jen's not here, so we didn't want to do anything crazy, So I guess let's just get started, man. Let's do this thing.
Real quick, I do want to welcome our newest Patreon subscribers, Ashley and Stephanie. Thank you so much for joining. And to, I think I mentioned this, Coral and Elizabeth, who both increased their memberships. So thank you guys so much for the support.
And thank you. Y'all increased the membership, so let's, get on live. We do every Sunday, 1 to 5.
Yeah.
So, all right, today's story. What do you think this is?
It looks like a slum.
It is
okay.
a slum.
All right. There's a mountain there.
I mean, is this in the U.S.?
No, this is not in the U.S. This is a international story. This is actually 4 stories in one.
All involving the same person or different people?
Different people. It's a pandemic. Not pandemic. Yeah. Well, not pandemic. What is it called when something happens a lot? Pandemic, yeah. No, it's not.
No, I don't know what you're going for.
Epidemic. It's an epidemic.
Okay.
Yeah, and I thought it was very interesting and very sad, so thought I would just depress everyone today. Anyway, this is actually South Africa.
Oh.
This is Manenberg. This story is in the news, and I'm going to combine it with 4 other stories. And the reason I really want to do this, because it's shitty, it's sad, but there's this epidemic going on, which I'm about to tell you about, that happens every once in a while, that police don't really know how to deal with. The public doesn't know how to deal with. So I researched 4 different cases, and I don't know, I just want to offer suggestions to people in the neighborhoods dealing with this shit.
Interesting.
Before it becomes bigger than it is. But anyway, first let's start by going back to 1963. And Nicole, you can tell us what the McDonald Triad is. The McDonald Triad, MACDONALD, psychology term.
I can. So it is a pattern of exhibited behaviors that is often found in serial killers. And those behaviors are wetting the bed, arson, and animal torture.
Yeah, cruelty to animals. So a little bit about that. J.M. McDonald, he's a researcher and a psychiatrist. He discovered a pretty interesting link in the criminal behavior patterns of many of the incarcerated serial killers. Now, this isn't true for all the cases. It's just an interesting pattern he found. And in his research paper, which I'll link on talkmore.com, The Threat to Kill, he associates a triad pattern of fire starting, arson, bedwetting, and animal torture and cruelty. If you do all 3 of those as a child, you most likely will become a serial murderer, or at least a murderer. And like a lot of our cases that we've done, they exhibit at least one, if not all of them. Mm-hmm. Even one of the last ones we did, the son of Sam, I don't think he did. He was cruel to animals. He was killing fucking dogs.
Killing dogs.
Yeah, he was killing dogs. He was an arsonist, and we don't know if he's a bedwetter, but, if that was the case too. And a lot of these killers, they'll wet the bed as a child and they'll get beat and by their parents, And bedwetting, not all cases. So if your child's wet in the bed, don't think too deeply in it, but a lot of cases, bedwetting is a side effect of molestation. So not always though. That's just one. Sometimes it happens if the child's getting molested, then he or she will wet the bed.
Interesting links.
Yeah, because JonBenet Ramsey wet the bed. I don't know if she was molested or not, but I don't know. That's when I researched that. But
one of the theories.
Yeah. Anyway, the triad pattern is associated with a lot of these serial killers we do. Also, another link that you can throw in there is a lot of serial killers have head trauma as a child. A lot of them, like literally probably 80% of the serial killers, the murderers that we've covered had some sort of head trauma, if not multiple head traumas. We're going to actually be focusing on one of those. We're going to Manenberg, Cape Town, South Africa. South Africa, especially in Manenberg, not all parts of South Africa, but this part extremely impoverished. The crime rate's through the roof. Poverty level is sky high. It's just not good news up in here. They have murders all the time. But we're not actually talking about human murders today. This is going on right now.
Manenberg cat killer. Postmortems show the animals were preyed on. Oh, interesting. This could be, we may have another Luca Magnotta on our hands.
Yeah, Luca Magnotta, he did that.
The don't fuck with cats.
Yeah, don't fuck with cats. I didn't do that. I did 4 other cat killers. Yes, this is a real thing. This is not a joke episode because Jen's not here. You guys know how I feel about animals, like literally.
Yeah, no one fucks with animals. No.
Yeah, so we're going to do cat killers from all over the world. There's one going on right now in South Africa. And Manenberg, as you're seeing right here on your screen, let me...
So we think this is a potential serial killer in the making on the loose.
No, I'm not saying that.
I mean, it could be.
I mean...
Definitely could be.
So I got some studies and some research that links cat killing, obviously, to bigger crimes. But a lot of these... The cat killers that get caught are over 50. The 2 that I'm going to talk about, pretty old guys. Not that they're not going to start murdering people now.
They could have already murdered
This
people.
is a crazy epidemic. And, dude, driving out of our neighborhood, I was looking at all these cat missing posters. I'm like, shit, I hope that's not happening here. I don't think so. But so the cat killing thing is not a joke. I'm really doing this episode and doing it right. It causes a moral panic between communities. The community you're looking at right now is Manenberg, and this is a poor-ass community. Poor. And there's violence and crime rampant here, and yet this cat killing problem that they're having going on right now, currently, is the only thing people are talking about, because they're not killing stray cats like, oh my God, this cat had a litter of 10 babies, and they're all going to die anyway. Let me put out some antifreeze or whatever. These are house cats. Someone is killing pets of these homeowners. And, we live in 2021. The pet is like a family member. And I'm more of a dog person, but fuck, dude, I don't care one way or the other. You can't be killing no cats, dude.
Yeah, you've got to be a real vile person.
And this is
hurt an animal.
And this Manenberg, I'm telling you, there's local gangs. Crime is just through the roof. The murder rate is super high, and yet this cat killing is disrupting everything. Everyone is pissed off more about this cat killing, as they should be, than anything else going on right now. You know what I'm saying? So I'm going to do this case. I know it's weird that I'm doing this case, but I hope you guys like it. I hope you guys like it, man. Anyway.
Animal murder is murder too.
Manenberg, Cape Town, South Africa. At least 37 cats so far were murdered.
Wow.
Since July of last month. This is
What?
Jesus.
This is 2021. This is going on right now. You type in Manenberg cat. If you just type in Manenberg in your search engine, the first thing you're going to see is this cat killing thing. People are fucking pissed. 37 cats were murdered since...
They're all pets.
100% pets. Every cat I'm going to talk about tonight is a pet, or was a pet, I should say. Some of the cats I'm going to talk about, and I'm not going to show pictures, man, because I can't even really do those pictures, unless you guys want to see them. But a lot of them are tortured and stuff. Ugh. But some of the cats survive out of all the stories I'm going to talk about. One cat, I'll put a video on talkmore.com. He survived. He survived fucking bow and arrow straight through his fucking spine. They got it out. He survived, but... Is
he returned with his family? Is he home safe?
They show the video of the vet taking the fucking thing out.
Oh my God.
Yeah.
Did he fully recover? Is he paralyzed?
Yeah, apparently he's fully recovered. Yeah. It went straight through his body. But I'm not going to show you that video on this, man. It's too depressing.
No, I'll
but I do want to cover this. I do want to cover this because of one reason. If you're in the UK, a couple of these cases happen there, wherever. I got one from Japan. Like, it doesn't matter. If this starts happening, there's something you can do about it. And that's why I research these cases, man, because the police are probably not going to do much about it. It's not humans. They can't divest a lot of resources in catching a cat killer. They can't nab the cat killer.
Yeah, but it's a real indicator that there's a problem in that community, like
Yeah.
today cats are in danger, but tomorrow, who knows?
Yeah.
I feel like this is something that internet sleuths may be able to help figure out who is doing these things. I'm assuming it's unsolved if it's still actively going on.
Yeah, they're still actively. Well, there's a problem with the police there, and the police aren't doing anything. But then again, it's freaking Manenberg, Cape Town, South Africa.
Bigger problems.
Police is
what
small,
they're thinking.
bigger problems. Yeah. So I get it, but at least 37 cats. And this is when I was doing research. Most likely they woke up today for another 6 dead corpses.
And I wonder if they're also killing stray cats.
No strays. This is all
But
pets.
you just wouldn't know because who's actually paying attention? Or how are you going to track stray cats if no one's claiming, hey, my cat's missing? You know what I mean?
No, they're going and verifying that, oh, this is your pet.
Yes, but what I'm saying is there could be, so there's 37 pets who that were killed, but there could be other
just random cats
that are random strays that are unaccounted for because who's numbering the cats that are living on the street?
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah, and there's MOs to this, guys. There's crime signatures. For instance, you're about to see, and some of the killers we actually caught, and not in South Africa, obviously, but we can see why they were doing it. But a lot of these killers of these cats, they don't want to kill strays, man. They want to kill your fucking pet and then display them for the public to see. Like a fucking Hannibal Lecter shit.
Oh,
fucking crazy, man.
If someone did that to our dogs, I would go ape shit.
Oh, that's low, man. You've got to be twisted. I've never been mad enough at a person to even think about harming their animal.
Right.
I mean, I love animals.
I have a statistic that's really gonna make you think about who you are friends with. In a second, I'll get to it, but it's pretty powerful.
I would say this is not a lighter episode whatsoever.
No.
Well, go back to the...
Knowing how, people care more about their animals than most people.
Oh, God, yeah.
I agree with
Okay,
that, so
yeah.
it's fine.
Okay.
I'm not trying to correct you by saying it's
you're right.
I'm just saying,
I know.
we're all deep animal lovers here,
I
so we're
know.
going to get just as pissed as, a baby getting murdered.
Yeah.
You know?
We did that Dina one. Oh, my God.
Oh, it's awful.
We can talk about that. Anyway. But 37 cats are murdered so far. And since July of last month, so this is going on right now, they haven't caught them. 34 cats in 23 days. That's a lot. All the cats were pets, just like in every case I'm going to talk about. And they're not strays or feral or anything. These are some people's pets. Most of the cats, well, probably 100%, I'm thinking. Well, not 100%. Let me take that back. The cats were all outside, but a lot of the cats were inside cats, but the owners let them out, and they would, go out. My mom's cat's like that, actually. Goes in and out of the house. But then someone grabs them and then does some stuff you're going to hate. Actually, Nicole's about to read something right now. So here you go. This is from the Animal Welfare Society. This is from the pathologist.
Some of the animals were severely beaten before being sliced open with the sharp blade and disemboweled. Others had parts of their rib cages, hearts, and lungs ripped out.
Okay, what's she saying? She's like, I gotta go.
Yeah, I don't want to do this. This is a poor choice.
I mean, is it?
This is sad. Yeah, man, I don't have the heart for this. This is
man.
Really look at that little dude. I get sad when I see cats and dogs that have been hit on the sides of the road. I mean, it just hurts my feelings because I know that's somebody's baby.
This is Ash. So you can see this isn't a cat that's on the side of the road. This is someone's pet.
Got a little bell around
Got a
his
little
neck.
bell. And if you notice about that, that's a homemade type of bell. That's like South African jewelry right there. That's someone's baby girl. That's actually Felisa Jacobs' baby girl right there. Ash, I guess it's a female. Maybe it's a male.
It could be either.
He was one of 3, and he was the only one that was found in a very bad state. He was found dead on July 25th, 2021. So it's fucking crazy. I'm sorry, guys. I'm doing this shit. Now, the surgical cuts, very important that they have surgical cuts. Because what does that mean? When you, all right.
It's a doctor or a vet.
Well, no, not like Jack the Ripper
saying?
shit. But all right. These not all of them in these cases, but a large number of these cats had autopsies done. Some of the cats were even exhumed, which I think is awesome to put that much love and care into finding out the killer. You're going to exhume the cat from the backyard and look at its scars. A lot of the cuts in the South African cases are surgical, not like precise, but straight up and down, which means, hey, that's not a freaking wolf or a coyote that ripped it apart. That's a knife. That's someone with a knife. Not a doctor or whatever, maybe, but someone with a knife. Very sad. Usually the organs are displayed and usually in public places. So if you want to read this.
They all bore the classic signature of the killer dubbed the Manenberg cat serial killer, except this time the nature of the injuries were even more horrific than before. One of the cats were chopped in half. Only the top half could be located. This monster!
Why are y'all looking at me like...
I hate this part. You brought this to us. I could have gone on the rest of the day not knowing that this was a thing.
Fuck, I don't know.
No, we're gonna expose this person.
Yeah, we're gonna catch this cat killer.
We're gonna inspire vigilante justice.
Dude, these cat killers have been caught before.
We need to catch this asshole.
Okay.
And what kind of...
You don't want to know the sentence?
Oh, yeah, that's the thing. Like, what's an appropriate sentence for somebody who does stuff like this?
Life in fucking prison.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, and what country is that?
There are their animal cruelty laws are getting much stricter. And
yeah, they get stricter because guys like me get people pissed off enough about it.
Absolutely. Well, there was there's now an animal abuser list in some states similar to like a sex offender.
Oh, yeah.
Registry.
That's
like
how
if
it
you are
should be,
cruel to animals, you will be hung out to dry in public.
Love it. Yeah.
In pubs.
In pubs.
I think your name should be on display, man. You are just a piece of shit.
Tattooed on your forehead like like Brad Pitt tattooing the swastika.
It was a knife. Inglourious Bastards.
You never seen Inglourious Bastards?
Mm-mm.
What?
Oh my God. That's
Oh
a great
man.
movie.
Brad Pitt like took Himmler, wasn't it? It's Himmler. Anyway, he took one of the leading Nazis, and the deal was, the war's won, so you can be let free. Go ahead, but hold on a second. Let me just brand you for the rest of your life with the fucking swastika so everyone knows.
If I had my way, you'd wear that goddamn uniform for the rest of your pecker-sucking life. I'm aware it ain't practical. I mean, at some point, you gotta have to take it off. So, I'm gonna give you a little something you can't take off.
I don't know. Crazy
Fictional story.
Yeah, maybe.
Based on true.
We all know Hitler fled to Argentina.
Yeah.
All right. On August 6th, the residents wake up to 3 more mutilated cats. And from one of the representatives of the Animal Welfare Society says a resident found their cat, quote, well, not their cat specifically, but a resident had found a cat, quote, butchered, pregnant cat lying beside her dead kitten fetus, end quote. Holy Jesus Christ. I'm sorry, man.
This is important because we can help get this person apprehended since this is active.
And this isn't just one-time thing. This isn't like a fluke. This is like a real fucking thing, like an epidemic, and it's kind of sad.
Yeah, I mean, public outrage tends to translate to action.
So the Manenberg police aren't doing anything at all.
Yet.
Well, I mean, good luck trying to contact them. The animal, well, I have their number and I'll show you in a second, but Alan Perrins, he is a representative from AWS, which is Animal Welfare Society, says that the Manenberg police are refusing to pursue the matter, and they only decided to give it any credit when a, quote, credible witness, end quote, came forward. no more about the credible witness. There was nothing else I could find about it. There's no clear motive that they said there's no clear motive. We can't do anything about it. The thing about the corruption in South Africa, okay, there is, so I'm going to read this quote. They don't have discretion in the matter. So if anyone tries to lay complaints with the SAPS, which is the South African Police Service, for whatever reason, SAPS does not, and for whatever reason, SAPS does not want to investigate, please approach the Western Cape Police for assistance. This is crazy. This is an office set up by the Western Cape government specifically to investigate why SAPS refuses to act and to, and to look at all. Yeah. So they've set up a government service. South Africa has set up a government service for when police refuse to do their job, and that's who you complain to about it. So
I didn't realize police could pick and choose what they want to work on.
Fucking straight, man. I mean, this is a different culture. I don't know if we got any South African listeners, but
I don't know.
With this one, I told you I was going to give you some actionable steps, and I will. We're going to talk about some other cases. As far as the South African one, right now, that's all we got. I told you about the dead cats.
They have no leads. But you have some potential threads here on how we can help figure this out.
No, I got some threads on the other cases. There's no more information on the South African case at all. They're just, the news is still coming out. I mean, literally, someone is killing a cat right now.
Oh,
and tomorrow it's going to be all over the South African news, but that's it. That's all I got. But I do want to provide some other cases and some suggestions. Before I go on, the Chicago Police Department, they pulled their sources and resources and stats, and they put out this research paper. Now, this is freaking crazy, guys. This is insane. And this is just people that actually admit this is happening. So keep that in mind. Quote, up to 75%, 75, 3/4, 75 out of 100, up to 75% of domestic violence victims report that their partners threaten to harm their pets.
Ooh.
End quote. And that is the people reporting. So that number is higher. 75%. If a man ever hits you or whatever, and you run,
I can see that. Like if they're that cruel to their loved one, and they would say, "I'm gonna beat your dog," or if you act out of line, I could see
that is a scary number,
that's an
guys.
Interesting correlation.
Fucking scary number. Okay, 75 fucking %. That's a lot.
Yeah.
Is it not?
Yeah.
So
I mean, it just it shows if you're willing to be violent, you're willing to be violent to anything.
Oh yeah, and the more vulnerable, the better. I mean, that's why people abuse children.
To target,
less likely to fight back.
All right, so taking off that little snippet, maybe the person doing this has been involved in some domestic violence case. Maybe.
Yeah, he's probably a sicko in different avenues, or different outlets.
Has a violent history in some way, shape, or form.
Yeah. The FBI states on their website, quote, they believe the animal cruelty was an early indication of violent crime. And that's and that's really what led to the discussions with our law enforcement partners throughout the country, end quote. So that's, the FBI is actually pulling animal violence right now since 2016 in their yearly stats of overall country violence. Mm-hmm. Because it's such there's this correlation between that. I mean, 75%, that's, might as well be 100. If someone's hitting you, they'll sure as hell fucking kill your cat or dog. All right, let me depress you guys a little bit.
Oh, God.
Oh, shit. Fuck. Here's this cutie.
Oh.
Now we're away from South Africa. We're going to Thurston, which we just did a case in Thurston. Can't remember what it was. Was it the Dina? No, that was in Texas. But we're going to Washington.
State?
Yeah, Washington State. Thurston County, 2018, they had an epidemic, and it was bad, of cat killers. Of a cat killer, let's say. Now, this is Ollie, who you're looking at. Ollie's is a slightly overweight, cross-eyed cat.
Oh, stop.
Should I have not done this one?
No, I mean, we just love animals. I don't know what it says about us if we're like more heartbroken over the animals and people that we cover, but
is this the end of our podcast?
Stop.
Shit.
Well, it's because they're so trusting. Like animals are so
what do they
innocent.
do?
Yeah.
Old Mrs. Stockert was the owner. She said that Ollie here, and Ollie is Olly, loved sleeping indoors. And, quote, she's family. And she is saying this in an interview with the news source while she's crying. And she said, quote, it's definitely a creepy feeling to know that this person has that type of evil in them, end quote. Ollie here fought back. And
That's right. Yeah, get it, girl.
although
Claw the shit out of this person.
Ollie was strangled. Okay, strangled. And Ollie has human DNA under
Oh, hell yeah.
his fingernails.
Way to go, Ollie.
But this case has never been solved. This was in 2018. The killings had just stopped, which makes me think the perpetrator may be in prison.
But if the cat had DNA, couldn't they run that and
Well, I'm sure they did run it, but I mean, my
Wouldn't-
DNA is not in the system. So.
No, but if he was if your theory is that he's incarcerated, wouldn't they have his DNA?
Maybe. There's the DNA lab is pretty backed up, I'd imagine. To have, poor little Ollie's go front and center is not going to happen. I mean, I'm just saying, I don't know.
So, I don't know. It's a good theory. I don't know.
Ollie, he did fight back, and this is bad. It's real bad. Ollie's spine had been, quote, ripped out and displayed not far from the owner's home, end quote. Jack the Ripper style ripped out and displayed. The cases in Washington, the organs and the spines of the cats were displayed in churches, in public parks, and in wherever the most people would see them.
That's twisted.
Yeah, you're telling me. There was evidence, and the only evidence they found in this case was a surgical glove. They found DNA on the surgical glove of another cat named Tubby. Sad, I know. Fuck.
We're just like, we hear the name Tubby and we're like, oh my God, like, who could hurt someone named Tubby?
I'm waiting for the picture of Tubby. Do we have a picture of Tubbs?
There's no picture of him, Tubbs. Oh my God, this is terrible, man.
It's actually making me really pissed off that there's DNA available to test and like we could like it could be solved.
Guys, this
It
is not
could be solved.
This is not South African and freaking
That's in Washington fucking state. That's America.
This is in your fucking backyard. This shit is fucking happening. And it happens as an epidemic. So you'll see one and then you'll start seeing 10. They're all displayed a certain way. And I want to like do this episode to let you know, well, to bring to light the differences between this displaying a spinal column on the kiddie park slide and a wolf, because there has been a case where they determined it was wolves, because wolves do fucking some shit, but that's nature. We don't, we're not upset about that. It's nature.
Well, I'm still upset about
I'm
it.
so upset about it, but a wolf will take a cat's head and move it somewhere and go chill at the park and eat the head or whatever. That's shitty, but it's nature. That's different than a fucking deranged asshole cutting it off. And this is it's not always a wolf thing, because we actually have 2 cat killers I'm going to cover tonight that were caught. One of them caught doing it on fucking camera. I'm not going to say that.
Oh, thank God.
But like at least They're getting caught. Well, so
they're getting caught if they know what to do. This isn't.
Yeah.
So when this happens in your neighborhood, police aren't gonna know what to fucking do. You got to come forward and be like, "Hey, this happened in this case. Why don't we approach it with this?"
Right. And I wonder, like, in this case in Washington, like this was 3 years ago now, if this perpetrator, you think maybe they're incarcerated. I think because there's DNA evidence and no one's been charged, they're still out there. They're in their cooling off period, and then they'll move to people. That's my theory.
Yeah.
So, like, in a year from now or whatever, if we start covering some cases that are in this area in Washington, my money's going to be on it's this cat killer.
Well, the one we're about to cover here that happened in the UK, I mentioned it in the podcast, and this was 2018. I'll get to it in a second, but I mentioned it in the podcast, and I was kind of following it for a while. But one of the things that what we're going to talk about here, one of the actionable things you can do is if this happens, the media is going to automatically come out and say, "Oh, this is the Thurston cat killer," or "This is the Mount Pleasant cat killer." If most likely that cat killer is going to spread out to different counties. So which someone in a different county is going to be like, my cat can stay outside because that's the Thurston killer. So in one of these cases specifically, some residents went forward and said, you need to change the fucking name you're putting in the newspapers. This isn't the Thurston killer. This is the whatever killer. Mm-hmm. And he's killing cats other places, and people aren't putting their cats up because they think they're not going to, they're not in danger.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So one of the things is get that name out of there, make it something more broad.
So let me ask you.
People do this. Like, you can do this. The media is going to pick up whatever they can sell papers. You can go and tell them to change it, and they will for that reason. I'm telling you, and they'll all just follow suit. That's how it worked in this case. Exactly how it worked in this case.
So I'm wondering about people who have their animals microchipped. Is there a log of where these animals have been? So can we maybe figure out
That's a
where
very
these crimes are being
idea.
committed?
That's a good. I didn't even see anywhere in that. That's a good question.
I don't know.
I don't know if there's a loop or like a.
They found all the bodies, so maybe they did search the microchips or whatever.
Yeah, but I wonder if you can track like past movement. You know what I mean? Or if it's just a present, current location.
I think
kind of thing.
I think the microchip is just something that they can read and then say like, oh, this cat's registered to someone. I don't think it's
I don't think it's
location.
GPS or whatever.
Yeah.
Although you can get a collar that is.
Oh yeah, that might be something
Worth
to
doing,
think about.
yeah.
Yeah. And like I said, if you're just tuning in, man, this is a real episode. I am 100% pissed off about this shit.
Oh yeah, I am furious.
Not even fucking joking, man. I'll risk my reputation for this podcast to do this episode. I don't give a fuck. For the Thurston County killer, never caught. It just abruptly ended, which makes me think he's either dead, cross my fingers, or he's incarcerated. Most likely incarcerated, I'd imagine.
Just stopped killing cats and moved on to people.
Yeah.
Or in a cooling off period, and they will escalate.
Yeah. It's fucking crazy, man, because, I mean, these aren't kids that I'm going to show you. These are grown-ass men. One of them was arrested at 57. He ain't this ain't no high school bully fucking kicking the cat and putting a firecracker up his booty hole. This is someone that has got fucking mental problems or something. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. I mean 30 years ago, he probably was the kid you just described.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Yes.
That's a good point.
Yes.
All right.
100%.
Yeah, this guy didn't wake up at age 57 and he's like, you know what I'm going to do today?
Yeah.
As far as the Washington cat killer epidemic was concerned, like I said, it stopped abruptly, but there was a $56,000 reward. So if, pull together a reward with all the residents, man, make it where people will come forward. They will come forward with an incentive. $56,000. If I knew some shithead down the street that I barely liked anyway, or even liked, was freaking killing cats, and I was like, the cops ain't gonna care. You put a $56,000 reward. Oh, check out this dude, man. Check out this dude. Take the money, man. You know what I'm saying? If he did it, I'm sorry. I'm just very passionate about this.
Oh, me too.
They put together a 10-person task force, which included a homicide detective. I mean, so this was like a real freaking operation they were running. Now, this is one of the most horrific murders that happened around here in the Washington case. The house cat was, and this is Mrs. Johnson's house cat, was slit down the stomach and laid out, just like other cats found in Olympia. The cats were displayed for people to see. And then Erica Johnson from the Animal Cruelty Investigation Task Force says, quote, kind of like an arsonist goes back to the scene of the fire. They want people to find these animals. It's for shock value. It's like a trophy, end quote. That's what she says. So they display the organs in public parks where people are going to be, where kids are going to be, in churches, like church parking lots and stuff. They put them out there for people to see. Here's another case right here. This is a completely different case. This is the Croydon cat killer. This was in the UK, and this isn't the one we're about to cover, but this is a different case right here. Now this says 250 cats as well as foxes. Now this is this is right when it started getting widespread. This is August 31st in 2017. The number went over 500 cats found splayed out. Now, very important with this, the public, because it wasn't just right there in Croydon, however you say it, Croydon. It happened all over the different townships around the UK. So the residents went to the media and said, rename this shit, because it's not just happening here. And people aren't prepared. They're not putting their cats up at night or whatever. So they actually renamed it. And from now on, it's not the Croydon cat killer, it's the M25 cat killer, which is not very great, but it's definitely not just specific to this one fucking town.
Right.
Because the murders actually spread to Manchester, Birmingham, Brighton, and the Isle of Wight. Well, how do you say it? Isle of Wight?
I don't know.
Never been there.
I mean, I think those are pretty geographically spread areas in the UK too. Like that's a big area.
Now, let me talk about this. That sub-headline. Now, this is from The Guardian. This pissed me the fuck off. It says, man in 40s thought to be behind deaths and mutilations of 250 cats as well as foxes. These people were finding dead foxes and cats all over the fucking counties. Okay, keep that in mind.
Okay.
They were found splayed out. The police spent 3 years, I think it was like over $200,000 and over 2,000 man hours. It was like 2,215 of police hours catching this guy, and they never caught him. Eventually, they got tired of, because he just stopped, like all the other ones completely stopped. And on August 31st, they actually put out a description of the suspect. That's why you see the 40s. And here's a description. Quote, a white man in his 40s, short brown hair, dressed in dark clothing, possibly with acne scarring to his face, end quote. Now, the police spent a lot of freaking man hours on this shit, and obviously they got embarrassed when they couldn't solve it, because it just went completely, just stopped completely. So this is what they did. But now I want to show you this. No one around the area believes this shit. Actually, if you type in his name, most people think he's starting up again. But this is what they blamed it on. Croydon cat killer hunt ends after 3-year investigation. Scotland Yard declares humans in the clear and foxes likely to be behind mutilations in South London.
What?
They're saying foxes ripped out these spinal cords and the heads and moved them different places. But go back here. The description says 250 cats and foxes all over the country.
Right. Are foxes killing each other?
No.
Does that happen?
What the media is believing, this does happen. Foxes do dismember a cat, and they will take the head, and then they'll go somewhere with the head and leave the rest of the body. Okay, that does happen. But that may have happened in some of these cases, but no one around the area believes their pets were murdered by foxes. There's not foxes in populated areas that are just running around, hopping the fence and grabbing your cat and then hopping back over. Most of the residents don't believe this, but this is what the police said to calm everyone down, which just pissed everyone off.
So this was not based in fact.
No, it's not based on fact, but it's from The Guardian.
One time, here in Mount Peasy, Stella woke up in the middle of the night and she was staring out the window. And so you've heard Stella now howl when you approach the house. But she woke us up in the middle of the fucking night. Oh! John gets up, looks out the window like, what the fuck is she howling at? She's staring face to face at a fox through the window.
Yeah.
Okay.
And she's, I mean, they kind of look alike. So maybe she's like, who the fuck are you? Is this my reflection?
Oh, she is kind of foxy.
Yeah. Fox
Same color
kind
and
of look a
everything.
lot like that.
Yeah. So, guys, I want to say, because number one, foxes do that. But there's specific things to look for. If your cat has looked like he's been cut straight down the middle, that is not a fucking fox. If the cat looks like it has bite marks in it, it's a fox. The autopsy and medical examiners from these cases said that there was a slit down the middle, a surgical slit. That is not foxes. Foxes do.
It would be messy. Like if it was another animal, it would be things everywhere.
But
like,
foxes do this. So if you have a bunch of cats start to go missing and found displayed, even like Jack the Ripper style, it may be a fox. But if you look for if they don't have bite marks in the body and there's like a knife slit down, it's not a fucking fox. Okay, but it's very important to look for that because you don't want to spend all this money and resources if it is just nature doing it.
Right.
But you have to look for that. That's one of the things I saw.
I mean, you just have to, like, coyotes in particular are like, you got to be really careful if you live close to coyotes with your kitties.
But the assumption with the Croton cat killer, from what I'm saw online, is no one fucking believes the foxes. Maybe a couple of the cases, but there's no way. I mean, the medical examiner said they're all surgical cuts. So, but that's what they told everyone. I don't know.
That's a whole lot of cats to be killed in a short period of time by foxes for them to just stop all of a sudden, too.
Yeah.
Because, like, if it was, like, mating season or what, I don't know, when a fox would it be more apt to do that. But you would think that it would happen every year if that's the case. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Or it would just, like, happen all the time.
So this asshole right here, what's in his right hand? Do you see that? Oh, you can't really see it.
I can't tell.
So this guy's looking down. This guy's a real creep. He looks like some cartoon character. Doesn't he look like Professor Zoidberg from Futurama or something? I don't know if that's who I'm thinking of, but I know it's something. Looks like somebody. Anyway, this is Stephen Bouquet right here. I believe he's still in prison. He kills 9 cats. This is in Brighton, and which is in the UK.
So this may be this particular cat killer?
No.
Like he hasn't owned up to?
You talking about the...
Yeah.
Maybe. I don't know. Maybe. That's a good point.
He's in the UK. He's admitted to killing, or he's been convicted of killing 9 cats.
Yeah, he's definitely...
Could it be more?
Yeah, maybe. 500?
I guess
don't know.
Depends on when he was incarcerated and, you know.
Yeah, can he kill 500 cats? I don't know. We, freaking, what's his name? The son of Sam, he committed, what was it, like 2,500 arsons within like a 2-year period? I mean, it's fucking working right there, bro. It's like lighting 4 buildings on fire at night.
Man,
that's like a fucking a 9 to 5. But they didn't believe it was just him until they found the log, and I was like, all right, well, I guess this guy has no friends. And
he kept a log?
He kept a log of every fire. And it was over the 2,000. It was like 2,500 in a 2-year range. They didn't believe it. They were like, this is fake. And they checked like every one of them. Mm-hmm. And some of them were like dumpster fires or whatever. But, you know, every one of them logged correctly. The fire department had records of it.
Oh, God, you got to love this organization.
Busy. Busy, busy, busy.
Excellent record keeping leads to excellent conviction.
This fucking guy, I want to shine this dude's head.
He reminds me of like an evil, like an evil
Yeah,
scientist.
Mini me or something, right?
Oh, maybe. Oh, he kind of also reminds me of he actually turns out to be a good guy later from Despicable Me.
Oh, yeah. Maybe that's what I'm thinking of.
Steve Carell's character.
Yeah. If you look at this picture, you see.
Do you want to pull up a side by side? How'd I do? Does I forget the guy the character's name, but if you type in Despicable Me,
Hold on, I will.
he'll show up.
How do I just get this dude's face?
It's pretty good. I'm pleased with myself for that one.
Yeah.
Well done.
All right.
I feel good about it. Don't take this away from me.
This is better than the sketch
They
artist we saw earlier.
They got the same exact pose they're doing on right now, too. This guy, man, piece of shit.
So he was. What did he get for? How did they catch him?
This is how they caught him right here. One of the things, man, that I'm not seeing in any of the other cases, especially in South Africa, maybe not have this available, but dude, security cameras are fucking everywhere these days.
Yes.
You telling me?
Actually, the UK is like the largest syndication in the world
Yeah, Big Brother.
right now. Like there's cameras everywhere on the streets.
Yeah, Big Brother-ish. But dude, check the cameras. If you're, I mean, the police are not going to do it. If this happens in your neighborhood, the police are not going to do it. I don't give a shit what they're not going to devote resources when there's so much other stuff going on to a cat killer. Because at the end of the day, it's not going to be a huge success lockup. The dude's not going to go to prison for the rest of his life. So with these cases, what I'm finding out is the residents have to get pissed off enough, and the people that own the cats have to actually go and get this thing done. Y'all have to go and see different CCTV cameras. You know, maybe it's a restaurant or whatever. Did they perhaps see someone walking? You can do that. No restaurant owner or gas station owner is going to say no if you go in there and say, my cat was brutally murdered, and everyone is already pissed off about this. You know, he's not going to be like, you can't see it. Unless he's the cat killer, he's going to let you see that shit. And you can catch him. The police didn't catch this guy. The freaking owner did. He went to one of these apartment complexes, and this is the guy right here. In his right hand, you see a knife. That's a knife. That's the same knife they found at his house with feline DNA on it. Blood all over the damn
Who's
thing.
just strolling around carrying the murder weapon?
Good point.
It's a cat. It's not like he's killing humans.
So if this guy was walking around like an alley carrying a knife, I would be very concerned. Yeah.
All right, a little bit about this. He killed 9 cats, we think probably a lot more, between October 2018 and June 2019. 54-year-old right there. He is a shopping center guard. The murders took place over that 8-month period. The victims, the ones that were killed, Hannah, Tommy, Alan, Nancy, Gizmo, Kaio, Ollie, Hendrix, and Cosmo were all killed. He didn't kill them all. He was a knife killer. Okay, so, and the one we're about to talk about was an air gun killer. Anyway.
Ugh.
So the ones he tried to kill, but he didn't. Now, these are all cats. The surviving victims, Wheatley, Alistar, Rigby, Gideon, Samson, Jasper, and Maggie all survived. Catherine Maddock found her cat lying as it was dying, and she said, quote, "It was dead but warm in my arms, covered in blood," end quote. Emma Sullivan found her cat, named Gizmo, one of the ones I just named, lying dead on the pavement, like right in front of her front door. Like right there, just laying so she'll see it. Okay? The cat was in the back, now it's here. Mm-hmm. It's not eaten by wolves, nothing. I mean, this guy killed it, actually. This guy right here, this fucking Despicable Me dude, sliced up this cat, Emma, put it right in front of her house so she'll see it. She wanted this old fucking lady to see her cat sliced open with the organs displayed out and everything. She says, quote, "I was complete." This is like making me cry. Quote, I was completely distraught. I was wailing in tears, completely inconsolable. Lusa Kenward, her cat Cosmo was killed. Quote, Cosmo was very much part of our family. I had him 8 years before he was killed. I feel a definite, this is fucking crazy. Quote, I feel a definite sense of guilt over my decision to let him outside. End quote.
Oh, yeah.
Evidence for this guy, photos of all the killings were found in his home, a knife with feline DNA on it. Detective Chris Thompson said, quote, his laptop computer showed that he had repeatedly accessed a website. What the fuck website are you looking at? In relation to lost cats in the city.
Oh, just looking for his victims, posting stuff.
Paying particular attention to a cat that was killed. So he would, after the cat, he killed it, I guess, he would try to get, his jollies off by seeing people, oh my God, where's my cat? Quote, he had also viewed numerous dog-killing cat-related videos and 2 photographs of a dead cat in a front garden taken at different times of the day.
Ugh.
Oh my God. Were recovered from his devices and believed to be taken by him. So he went back multiple times a day and took pictures of a dead fucking cat. So what do you think this guy got? Fucking life and goddamn nothing, right? All right.
He should never see the light of day again.
Well, for you South Africans, this is the best way to do it, man. Because in most countries, the animal cruelty is literally not there. There's no laws strong enough for it. The laws for animal cruelty are basically like you get pissed off one day and kick your dog. And then you get a couple weeks community service. That's basically it. But there's no laws for fucking some maniac
murder,
skinning cats, right? There's no law for that. So the court, he actually denied 16 counts. Now the court, this is brilliant. If the court was to find him or try him, if the Crown was to prosecute him for animal cruelty, he would get 6 months max for animal cruelty. So here's the lesson. Make sure the prosecutor finds a loophole, which this one did. Okay? Smart guy, or smart lady, I should say, Sally Lakin, Lakin. She's the Crown prosecutor. She said, you know what? I'm not gonna get this guy for animal cruelty. I'm gonna get this guy for, quote, criminal damage, end quote. That's the charge. Criminal damage instead of animal cruelty. Because now animal cruelty is held in a lower court. It's not held in the Crown court. And she says, quote, a criminal damage is an offense can be heard in the Crown court. And in this case, it will allow a far greater sentencing range.
All right.
Maximum 10 years.
Oh, good on you, Sally.
Per count?
Well, kind of. Just the thing about the criminal damage. Now, this is brilliant.
Because that could put somebody away for life.
Oh,
so,
yeah.
like with
especially a 54-year-old.
With South Africa, right? So, if they catch the killer, don't try him for animal cruelty. Try him for criminal damage. Which criminal damage is basically this: like it covers. Let's say you go to your neighbor's house and you knock down their fence because you're pissed off or whatever. That's criminal damage. So when that happens, that person has to bring a value to the court, a value of how much the fence costs, how much damage you did. So that value influences the sentencing length. So that's what she did. She said these cats were property of the owners. Okay. So it's not animal cruelty that he's taking the property and destroying it. So each cat has a value. Now the values were increased because they had to be autopsied. They had to be exhumed and stuff like this. So that value went up. Now it's not a ton, but it's the best she could do. The criminal damage, for instance, Gizmo, March 27th, 2019, brought 5,056 euros, which is kind of equivalent to dollars, I would imagine, like maybe 6,000.
$7,000.
$7,000, whatever. The highest was Samson, and that ranged 7,500 euros. So
10 G's, roughly.
10 G's. The reason I'm saying that is this guy, he didn't get fucking 6 months. He got 5 years. And I mean, that's not a ton, guys, but that's way better than fucking 6 months.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's also on the radar now, too. I don't know how they qualify crimes over in the UK, but...
That's one of the big things I noticed, man. Like, that prosecutor, genius. The judge, too. Like, the prosecutor's going to be, like, lying in line with the judge. The judge, Jeremy Gold, called him despicable, gave him 5 years and 3 months. Every day he's serving on that. He's still in prison.
Good.
That's one of the big things. I was going to go to another one in Japan, but I don't think I should. It's the same 49-year-old Harada. I'll put his details on the blog. He says, quote, I have killed about 100 cats, end quote. I felt like I conquered a vulnerable cat. And his method was shooting cats with an air gun with pellets. And the reason they caught him is because I guess in the city Chiba, where he lives, you have to be registered to have an air gun, which is like a pellet gun. It's like a little powerful BB gun, more powerful than a BB gun. That's what a pellet gun is, right? So you got to have a license for it. So they start finding cats laying around the fucking city with nothing but pellets in their bodies. That's how they caught him. He would lure the cats in with food. Sometimes he experimented with capturing the cats and pouring boiling water on them. Oh. That's pretty bad. But I mean, this guy was 50 fucking years old. You're not looking for kids, most likely. Maybe in one or two isolated cases, but these guys
it's like a mass. Yeah.
Yeah. I'm thinking these guys, from these two at least, I mean, they're over 50 years old. So I don't know, man. That's basically all I have on this shit. I just kind of wanted to go over these. Really.
Can I ask do you know what the sentencing was for the Japanese case?
I don't know what the sentencing was. There's hardly nothing on the case, to be honest.
I was hoping it would be like he should never see the light of day.
I mean, let me look him up right quick. That's a good point. I don't know why I didn't know.
I'm hopeful that he got a tough sentence if he admitted to 100.
Well, so all the freaking research here is in Japanese, so it's like translated. Let me see if I can find like the Wikipedia at least or something. I'm not seeing anything.
Yeah, I mean, I think you've got to get these people out of society. You have to remove them from society.
This was Tokyo Reporter, July 21st or July 15th, 2021. So he was just arrested. I don't think he's been caught.
Oh, okay. So he hasn't even been sentenced yet.
Yeah,
too soon.
A 49-year-old accused of shooting cats with an air gun. He says he's killed about 100. They think the pellets would actually break the bones of the cat. And I mean, there's not much news, but he says he feels like he conquered a vulnerable cat. I mean, this guy is just...
This one, I want you to subscribe to the RSS so that when he is sentenced, we can discuss this.
Here's the... I'll show you real quick. There's his gun, his pellet gun that he was using. God. I mean, he was just going shooting cats, man. And they're all in this one city where he lives. This one guy, I don't know... he says he'll get 15 years to life. I don't know who this guy is, just some commenter. He hasn't been sentenced apparently yet. This is from June 23rd, 2021, so he hasn't been sentenced. Hopefully they'll fucking do old samurai style and chop his head off. But
Yep. That would be the appropriate sentence, actually.
But I don't know.
Wow.
Coral, thanks so much for tuning in, man. I'm sorry it was kind of...
There are others on, but I just, they're not identifying themselves in the chat.
Yeah, thanks everyone. So Jen's not here. This is Jess, by the way, one of our friends. She's filling in. Jen's birthday was yesterday.
Friday. However, the party was yesterday.
She's probably still blacked out.
We haven't heard from her yet, so she is probably, still asleep.
All right, so I texted her on like Thursday. I was like, Jen, okay. I was like, let's just get this out the way. Me and Jen have a weird relationship. Let's just get this out the way. You don't have to be here on Sunday because I know you're probably going to be blacked out in a gutter or something.
Hey, should we check on her? Should we call her to make sure she's survived?
Maybe we should like send her Pizza Hut to her house.
Oh, that's actually a great idea. Yeah.
We should order food for delivery. Just be like, I hope you're alive.
But you guys wish her a happy birthday. She just turned 40. Or I was looking at this fucking asshole right here.
I'm glad you said that about Jen. I would have murdered you.
She just turned 30, and so we were at her party last night, and she was wasted. She's like, guys, I'm gonna make it.
I love you guys.
I'm gonna make it tomorrow.
I
fuck it
love
on
you.
time. And I'm like, okay, Jen, here's another shot. She was fucking toast.
She was drunk by the time we got there.
Yeah,
Oh, yeah.
Which
but-
was prior to 6:00.
And they hadn't even broken out the ski shot
But
yet.
she
Or the
loves
shot
you guys,
ski.
man. She
Yes.
loves you, Supremo. We all love you guys. We're trying to get this live stream going. We want to talk to you guys, man, and make this like, I don't know,
Super fun.
super fun. Love this stuff. Anyway, sorry this episode was kind of different, but
No, we're gonna help this cat killer get caught.
I didn't want to do a big episode without Jen. I don't think that would be fair. So that's why we are only doing this one. But from now on, Sundays, 1 p.m. to 5 p.m., we will be streaming online. Anytime you want to talk to us, we'll be here. We're going to do 2 episodes for you guys, okay?
Taco Supremos.
Yeah, and for
can
you,
view it live.
Yeah, for the Taco Nachos, thank you so much. You can see the videos. Maybe you don't want to care about talking to us. That's fine. You can still see the videos. They're there for you. But anyway, thank you guys so much. That's all I got, man. I really hope this guy in South Africa's caught. This
I hope
is
he's
sad.
killed too.
Yeah.
He
Yeah.
go
gonna
with
get
that.
what's coming to him.
And I guess
Wouldn't it be amazing if a cat killed him to death and it, like
Like a
Ollie
big
fought
cat.
back. Ollie
yeah.
fought back.
Like, I mean, a cat could.
Can you imagine this
Claw
guy's like,
them to
I'm going to
death?
kill you. And it's like, fuck you, motherfucker.
Yeah.
Oh my God. I can't. Oh, I love it. And the cat's just like, I'm going to just.
Oh my gosh, I feel like that's a movie in the making.
Oh my God, it is. I mean, they made Sharknado and that movie about the tire. Why can't we make this? There's a
love it.
movie about, it's called Teeth. It's about this woman has a vagina and it's full of teeth and it like eats men. It's a real thing.
That sounds.
I don't think
Awful.
that's a real thing,
No,
but the movie
I
called Teeth
swear
is
to
a
fucking
real thing.
no, I swear it's a
Let's
fucking
just
real thing.
clarify.
Anyway, thank you guys so much. I love you guys. And this,
Thank you, Jess,
thank you, Jess, for being
joining.
here.
Thank
Next
you.
week,
Thank
back
you.
to normal schedule. Promise you guys. And Jen will be here and everything. But if that's all, I guess that's this week's episode.
That's all for now, folks.
All right, and until next time, good night, you lovely, lovely people.